A girl in a maid outfit sits on the floor of a supermarket aisle, casually enjoying a box of snacks. The scene shifts to a fiery, devastated landscape, identified as the game Bow Wasteland's ultimate dungeon, the Abyss of the End. This is a fully open-world MMORPG where players experience the game from a first-person perspective. The game quickly topped the charts, becoming a global phenomenon within 6 months of its release. In this world, humanity created genetically engineered new humans with supernatural abilities to reclaim the surface. These superpowered individuals are the characters played by users, tasked with fighting the mutants that now infest the world. As players grew stronger, they were no longer satisfied with simple daily tasks like monster hunting and sought bigger challenges. So the game company introduced many new dungeons, including the Abyss of the End, which drew in hardcore players. Players dive into intense combat, clashing with dangerous creatures throughout the desolate battleground. The Abyss of the End has an unknown number of areas, all filled with extremely dangerous monsters and high difficulty. Even top players can barely last an hour in the first area, but this only fuels their enthusiasm for the challenge. One player warns her companion to stay alert, as a new boss with advanced AI has appeared, one that feels almost human-controlled. After repeatedly grinding monsters in the Silent City, the players' power grew, and it seemed they would soon conquer the area. But just as victory seemed close, a menacing glint in an unknown eye signals that something is about to change. Suddenly, 2 massive beast-like bosses tear through the field, scattering the players who cry out in shock. An armored player is knocked back by the beast, realizing the hellhound is merely the boss's pet. Then, a massive 3-headed hellhound emerges from a purple aura. This is the true Cerberus of Hell, and its arrival shifts the battle. A figure appears, introducing himself as Mutant Commander Zeng Fangu. He scoffs that another group of lunatics has come to die. Since the players came right to him, he declares it is time to activate massacre mode, gathering immense purple energy. He unleashes a devastating whirlwind of dark power, instantly striking down several of the surrounding players. The mutant commander smirks, enjoying the rush that comes from getting so many easy kills at once. 2 female companions appear, asking why he jumped in first. They remind him they agreed to split the kills. Another ally, the Zerg Queen Larva, defends him. She says the players deserved it for interrupting their tea time with the senior. She adds that they deserve to be beaten even more. He apologizes for getting carried away and not leaving them any targets. A girl with red pincer wings sits atop Cerberus, suggesting they grab a bite to eat to replenish their energy. Standing on a pile of defeated players, Zeng Fangu says he would rather eat players than food. Eager to continue the hunt, he sees that the top-ranked player teams are all gathered, declaring it the perfect chance to wipe them all out. As he prepares for the next fight, he wonders about his existence. He is a monster made to hunt players, but who is he really? His thoughts drift to the day it all began, back when he was just an ordinary college student in a peaceful city. In the past, a younger Zeng Fangu is pinned to a wall by bullies demanding money, citing his father's massive hospital bills. The young man stares back at the bullies with a cold and silent expression, refusing to be intimidated. The red-haired leader hesitates for a moment, surprised by the student's lack of fear. His surprise quickly turns to rage, and he clenches his fist, threatening to give the boy a beating. Just then, a voice calls out, asking if they are extorting a student in broad daylight at school. 2 women, Zhang Yuyu and Zhao Sushu, arrive. Zhang warns the bullies for targeting one of her students. The bullies' friends whisper that they can't mess with Zhang Yuyu or Zhao Sushu, who has connections to the school board. Hearing this, the group quickly backs off, with their leader shouting a threat that he will make Fangu pay later. Zhang Yuyu asks Xiaogu why he didn't fight back, but her friend explains he avoids trouble to prevent being extorted for medical fees. He just smiles and assures them he knows his limits, then asks if they needed something from him. Zhao Sushu says another student, She Siyu, saw him cornered and came to get them for help. At that moment, a pink-haired girl named Lin Yuting rushes over, nervously asking if Fangu is hurt. He realizes she was the one who called them, so he thanks her with a kind pat on the head. Yuting blushes, thinking about how gentle he is and wishing she could always stay by his side. But her inner thoughts reveal a much darker side, as she fantasizes about violently punishing the bullies for interrupting them. Unaware of her dark thoughts, Zeng Fangu just laughs it off, reassuring her that he is fine and thanking her again. Yuting tells him not to be polite, as they are teammates. She says they must keep playing the game together once he has the money. Zhao Susu agrees, even offering to cover his dad's treatment costs. She says he can pay her back later with no rush. The young man politely declines, saying he needs to head to his part-time job. He thinks working to earn money isn't so bad. As he runs off, he promises to gather the money for the surgery soon and rejoin them. His friends watch him leave. Zhang Yayu teases her friend for offering him so much money, jokingly asking if she wants him to marry into her family. Zhao Susu explains she was just concerned. She admits that while his account level isn't high, his actual skill is top tier. She is certain that if he stays on their team, they will definitely be able to conquer the abyss of the end one day. His in-game character is known as Rebellion Kid, a top-ranked player on the entire server, shown in golden armor. Zhao Susu believes that his microcontrol and understanding of the game are on par with the famous Rebellion Kid. Zhang Yayu asks if she means the legend who solo cleared the dungeon, but Susu insists her gut says Fangu is even stronger. Changing the subject, Susu invites everyone for dinner. She suggests they prepare for the abyss while they wait for his return. With their plans set for the evening, the group of girls walks off together, calling for each other to keep up. Later that night, Fangu looks out his window at the moonlit city, thinking about his upcoming paycheck. He calls his mother, telling her the money will cover half the surgery. He promises to figure out the rest somehow. A brief flashback shows his father's accident. The compensation they received only covered a small part of the expensive surgery. After finishing the phone call, he stands in his room, looking thoughtfully at the screen. He then lies on his bed, reflecting on his life. He has been studying and working part-time, finally saving half of the surgery cost. The young man hopes that paying half of the cost tomorrow will make things a little less stressful for his family. It has been almost 6 months since he last played. He misses fighting raid battles and considers logging back in for a bit. He decides to enter Biochemical Wasteland online, where the system prompts him to log in with his level Bone Warrior character. The student hesitates, wondering if it's right to play after he just turned down Senior Susu's offer for financial help. He then considers logging into his main account for the first time in forever, reaching toward the powerful character's holographic profile. A confirmation screen appears as he decides to log in with his powerful level 99 character, Rebellion Kid. His armored avatar materializes in the game world, standing high above the ruins of a digitally rendered city. As one of the top powers in the game, he hasn't logged in since his dad's accident, so coming back now feels emotional. His character's status screen shows he is level 99, with both his strength and speed stats maxed out at 99. A quick recap shows his main account is a top-tier solo player, while his alt account is only used for casual team-ups. He remembers creating the alt account because he caused too much commotion after solo clearing the abyss of the end dungeon. He then used that alt to join Miss Zhang's squad and imagines they would be furious if they discovered his true identity. Just then, a notification pops up on his screen. He is surprised to have a new message after being away for over 6 months. He reads the message. It's a welcome back bonus for veteran players offering a special challenge for a large sum of gold coins. He is suspicious, wondering if this is a prank or some kind of scam, since cash rewards for challenges are new in the game. But then he thinks about his father's medical bills. If the reward is real, it could be the solution he desperately needs. He decides to take the risk. It's just a game, so there's no real harm, and if he wins, the reward would be life-changing. He figures that if it is a prank, he will not lose anything anyway, so his character's armored hand presses the yes button. As soon as he accepts, A massive surge of blue energy erupts around his character, engulfing him completely. His avatar looks around in shock, completely confused about what is happening as digital code floods his vision. His consciousness is then pulled from his body and dragged into the digital stream, falling through a cascade of binary code. A beam of light crashes into a dark, overgrown landscape, materializing his consciousness in a strange new location. He finds himself in an unfamiliar, unsettling place and wonders why he was brought here. He looks at his hand and is shocked to find he can feel touch, something that should be impossible in the game. The experience feels too realistic. He wonders if it is a new sensory feedback feature or if he was somehow transported into the game. He looks at his reflection and sees his eyes are now glowing with a menacing purple light, just like the game's mutants. Staring at his reflection in a puddle, he screams in horror. He has been turned into a small zombie-like child. A system window appears, welcoming him by his real name. It says he accepted a hidden challenge to save the mutant faction. The system informs him that he is now a wasteland zombie, a low-class rotling larva. He realizes this is the game's villain faction. His new character sheet confirms his identity. He is a level 1 zombie larva with very low strength and speed stats. An info panel explains the New Human Revival Alliance is wiping out most mutants, leaving only the high-level groups in the Abyss safe. The system urges him to fight against the New Human Revival Alliance to earn a chance at survival for the children of the Wasteland. He remembers the mutants were just man-eating monsters. He wonders if half a year of updates changed the game's character alignments. The reality of his situation hits him hard. If this world is real and the roles are reversed, fighting powerful players is a death trap. He knows he is just a weakling zombie larva now. He would be instantly defeated if he ever ran into a player. The system says he can level up by completing missions, but he cannot log out until he defeats the Alliance and saves the Wasteland. He kicks a rock in frustration, angry that he is trapped. He worries about missing his dad's surgery window, but the system reassures him. When he returns to his world, time will revert to the exact moment before he entered the game. He processes this information. He can grow stronger here without losing any time in his world, like a super-powered training room. He continues to ponder this strange new logic, a spark of understanding forming in his mind as he pieces things together. The young man finally grasps his situation. This is no longer a virtual game, but a fully real wasteland world he was transported to. Just as he accepts this, he gets his beginner mission, to defeat one giant reaver. The sheer difficulty makes him despair. The mission is to defeat a giant reaver, a hulking monster that starts at level 3, a massive jump from his current level. He complains that the level gap is insane, calling it a suicide mission. He is also being asked to hunt his own kind. The system explains that any mutants he defeats will respawn after hours, allowing him to farm them for experience. It adds that defeating mutants increases their favorability toward him. He likes this survival of the fittest mechanic. The system gives him a final ultimatum: complete the extremely dangerous mission, or be permanently deleted from existence. An image of his sick father flashes in his mind. The surgery is right around the corner, and this is when he needs money the most. He clenches his fist with determination. If he can win the reward, his family will no longer have to worry about surgery costs. He remembers being the top player in Bow Wasteland and now sees a chance to play again, but from the mutant faction's side. A confident smirk appears on his face. For a veteran like him, this kind of challenge is nothing short of exhilarating. The system wishes him luck. Alone in the ruins, the young zombie realizes he needs to start grinding, but has no idea where to begin. He observes his surroundings. It is nighttime when players are usually active, but there are no signs of any activity nearby. This means he is either in an old, low-level zone or a high-level one that most players have not cleared yet. Given the evidence, he deduces that he must be deep underground in the high-difficulty dungeon, the Abyss of the End. The Abyss of the End is known as the ultimate dungeon in the game, boasting the highest level and difficulty of all. This area was once a network of advanced underground shelters, but it suffered catastrophic damage during the war with the mutants. Eventually, the survivors fled to the surface to rebuild their lives, leaving the shelters to become a nesting ground for mutants. He realizes any mutant that has survived this long in the harsh environment of the shelters must be incredibly strong. High-level Reavers are one such group, distributed throughout the entrance zones of the Abyss, also known as the Silent City. The mutants here are several times stronger than those in other regions, making this dungeon a hell mode for even top-tier players. He remembers the high density of powerful mutants in this area, so he knows he must remain on high alert to survive. He moves forward carefully, armed only with a folding stool, aware that the place is also riddled with hidden traps. The young zombie recalls easily clearing this area as a top player, but now one mistake could get him instantly killed. Suddenly, a loud noise echoes through the ruins, startling the small zombie and freezing him in place. A colossal shadowy creature with glowing red eyes looms over him, its massive form blocking out the dim light. A close-up reveals its drooling mouth, filled with rows of razor-sharp teeth ready to tear anything apart. He knows he cannot outrun the monster, so he decides to stand his ground and see what happens next. But just then, a sharp, blade-like limb slams down with incredible force, shaking the ground around him. A new figure emerges from the darkness, revealing a sleek and powerful form that commands attention. It is a level 55 female Reaver, a menacing creature with long red hair and multiple deadly tentacle-like limbs. Her face is scarred and her expression is fierce, her eyes scanning the desolate landscape for any sign of a threat. The female Reaver lets out a ferocious snarl, her sharp fangs and glowing yellow eyes radiating pure aggression. Her opponent is revealed to be a level 49 female Stalker, a plant-like mutant with the ability to conceal itself. The two powerful mutants clash fiercely, with the red-haired Reaver taking the offensive in their brutal confrontation. Hiding nearby, the small zombie is surprised to see female versions of these monsters fighting over territory, not just hunting. He realizes these creatures are no longer simple AIs with fixed patrol routes, but are now living beings, actively searching for threats. In the past, the Reavers followed basic programming. Now this one is clearly observing its surroundings, acting like a sentient creature. The young zombie understands this female Reaver is far more intelligent and dangerous than anything he has faced before in the game, but as the Reaver strikes down the Stalker, he sees an opportunity. The new difficulty might be the key to outsmarting her. With a final, decisive strike, the victor stands over her fallen foe, asserting her dominance in the desolate ruins. Suddenly, a small object hits the Reaver, bouncing off her tough skin without causing any damage at all. The small zombie appears on a tiny motorbike, taunting the powerful creature and challenging her to come after him. Enraged by the blatant provocation, the massive female monster lets out a deafening roar of pure fury. The taunt works perfectly. She immediately gives chase, her aggressive nature amplified by the zombie's challenge. His plan to use speed was risky. While he has a slight advantage, her massive body means each of her steps equals 10 of his. He keeps her close on his tail, leading her deeper into the ruins. He just needs a little more time for his delivery to arrive. Just as he planned, the Reaver's high-heeled footsteps directly onto a hidden trigger mechanism on the ground. The ground beneath her cracks and gives way, and she looks down in surprise as the trap is sprung. The small zombie on his mini-bike glances back, confirming that he successfully led her right where he wanted. He looks down from a cliff edge, telling the falling Reaver lady that it is time for her to fall into his trap. He recalls getting defeated by these same traps many times. But now, he will use that knowledge to his advantage. She has fallen into the Hive Valley, a nest of swarming mutant paralysis wasps that burrow deep underground. Hundreds of these large, insect-like mutants with sharp stingers and claws swarm out from the honeycomb-like walls. The red-haired monster finds herself right in the middle of the hive, completely surrounded by the aggressive insects. The level 45 paralysis wasps may not be the strongest, but their special ability is a potent paralytic venom shock. He muses that if the Reaver were not sentient, she never would have chased him this far, making his plan possible. The wasps immediately swarm the intruder, stinging her repeatedly with their paralytic venom as she cries out in agony. He admits he got lucky. His only advantages were a zombie larva's decent base speed and the speed-boosting mini e-bike. Still, he watches from a safe distance, knowing the fight is not over yet. He needs to see how this plays out. Reavers are known for their high HP and defense. He knows this trap alone will not be enough to finish her off. He estimates that by the time she fights her way out, the paralysis wasps will have drained at least half of her total HP. A clawed hand digs into the rock as the powerful Reaver begins to pull herself up from the pit. She emerges, weakened and sparking with debuffs, her health now at only 100. The little zombie notes the plan worked. He then puts 2 fingers to his lips and lets out a sharp whistle, signaling for the next phase of his plan to begin. In response, 2 aggressive-looking Shiba Inu dogs leap down from the cliffs, rushing into the makeshift arena. One of the hounds, marked with a prominent scar over its eye, lets out a ferocious snarl as it lands. The small zombie quickly grabs onto the fur of his new mount, preparing to ride it into battle. He charges forward on the back of the zombie dog, holding his folding stool like a weapon as they race toward the weakened Reaver. Using a special move, he and the hound slam into the creature, dealing a massive 99 points of damage in a single strike. The powerful blow leaves the Reaver with only 1 HP remaining, her body sparking with debuffs and her eyes empty. Perched atop his hound, the small zombie decides that it is finally time to end the long and difficult fight. He leaps high into the air, raising his stool above his head to deliver the final decisive blow from above. With all his strength, he brings the stool crashing down onto the Reaver's head, shattering it on impact. A system notification confirms the target has been successfully eliminated as her body collapses to the ground. He praises his zombie Shiba Inu pup, Wangjai, and says they will look out for each other from now on. A flashback reveals that zombies and zombie dogs share a natural bond, and he was once ambushed by a pack of them. He reflects on his past experiences, thinking about the zombie dogs he once faced as an enemy. Thankfully, this time he is on their side. He stands beside his loyal companion, relieved to have such a powerful ally. His clawed hand gently reaches out to boop the zombie hound's wet nose, a small gesture of camaraderie. He gives the large dog a grateful hug, knowing there was no way he could have defeated the Reaver in his frail body without help. A bright golden light envelops them as a level-up notification flashes. He has successfully completed the mission. He evolves from a larva into a juvenile zombie, jumping from level 1 to 1. His stats increase, and he gains a new skill. Now looking slightly older, he can feel the surge of strength from the level up. He wonders what psychic shapeshift does. He tests the new ability, his hands briefly enlarging. He questions if it is some kind of passive triggered skill. The quest reward screen appears. He receives an item, 5,000 gold coins, and the Reaver's affection level is now at 100%. The defeated Reaver respawns, now completely obedient to him. He is stunned, wondering what kind of game this has become. Still, he tells himself that earning gold is far more important to him than gaining affection points from monsters. A system message confirms the gold can be converted to real-world currency. He realizes he can earn his dad's surgery money. Just as he finishes that thought, a new notification reveals his next hidden reward is base construction. Having completed the mission at full health, he unlocks a secret base called Hope Citadel and is teleported there. A swirling vortex of blue digital energy engulfs both him and his loyal hound, pulling them into the teleportation portal. The boy and his zombie hound are helplessly sucked into the vortex of digital energy, crying out in surprise. A bright beam of blue light shoots down from the sky, depositing them with a thud in a new, unknown location. He lands on the ground, dizzy and disoriented from the sudden teleportation, with his dog tumbling beside him. But as he gets his bearings, his expression shifts to one of shock and awe at the sight before him. He and his companion look up at a vast ruined city, wondering if this could be the legendary Hope Citadel. The game has an incredibly detailed history, and among all its legendary locations, Hope Citadel is the most famous. According to the lore, it was built by human survivors who were close to developing a serum that could cure the Wasteland virus. But a final catastrophic war wiped them out, and the City of Hope declined, becoming the final dungeon, the abyss of the end. He is amazed that Hope Citadel from the game's lore actually exists. It has been hidden and now serves as his refuge. As he completes more missions and levels up, the facilities and features of the Citadel will gradually be unlocked for him. His next goal is to build up this new base by completing quests and upgrading structures, turning it into a stronghold. A system message then tells him that the final reward for his previous mission is waiting for him just inside. He is amused that he gets free real estate and a bonus prize for one quest. He and his hounds cautiously head inside. He's curious about the hidden reward, but he also notices his dog, Wangzai, has been sniffing the ground since they arrived. His eyes suddenly widen with disbelief as he realizes what his loyal companion might be sensing nearby. Deep inside the citadel, he discovers his hidden reward. A girl with long hair floats peacefully inside a massive containment tube. The girl is suspended motionlessly in the blue liquid. The young zombie comically complains about the system sending him a wife. He looks at his reflection in the glass, then down at the girl, jokingly questioning if the system has any shame left. Meanwhile, in the real world, a girl's silhouette is seen through a shower door in a modern apartment. The girl, Shisiyue, steps out after her shower, wiping sweat from her face with a towel. She opens the door to her bedroom, ready to relax after her workout session. She sits down on the edge of her messy bed, seemingly tired and ready to unwind for the day. Later, she lies on her bed surrounded by empty snack wrappers, having finally settled down to rest. She sits up and gazes at a framed photo of her friends, with her VR headset resting on the desk. With a snack stick still in her mouth, she puts on the VR gear, preparing to log into the game world. Her in-game avatar materializes, a level player with pink hair, wearing a schoolgirl uniform. She walks through the bustling streets of New Eden, the main player city in the game, filled with other avatars. A player dressed in a dark cloak and tactical gear stands waiting for her near a data terminal. The pink-haired girl follows her companion, her expression determined as she walks through the city. She stops in front of a futuristic building called the Buff Buffet, pausing with a thoughtful look. The pink-haired girl stands alone, thinking back to a time when her friend Xiaogu was still around to play with them. She fondly remembers her old team toasting in a tavern, celebrating together right before starting a new dungeon run. Now she stares at a spread of virtual food, imagining her friend would already be digging in if he were here. At that moment, a system notification pops up, offering her a special trial for a new version of the game. The message invites her to become a game experience officer and enjoy a realistic food experience, which piques her interest. Meanwhile, back in the Citadel's control room, Zeng Fangu reveals that he is the one who sent this special invitation. He thinks about his 4 friends, a group of very different but equally strong and reliable teammates. Among them, he believes the simple and food-loving Shei Siri would be the easiest one to trick into his plan. He leans back in his chair, confident that she is the perfect candidate for the mysterious invitation he just sent out. The young zombie recalls why he is resorting to this deception, a plan that started just 10 minutes earlier. 10 minutes ago, he was still standing before the girl in the tank, asking the system what her purpose was. The system explained the girl is an unconscious shell. He must use a supercomputer to invite a player to control her. He then received a new mission to invite a player to join the mutant army, trapping them until the final objective is complete. He got angry, refusing to doom someone else to the same fate just so he could earn his father's surgery money. But the system clarified their real-world bodies would continue acting normally, while their true consciousness controls the mutant character. Upon completing their final mission, they will both return to the exact moment before they entered. He muses that the system is quite humane. The system then teases him with a suggestive image, hinting that once he and the girl level up, they can create a zombie army together. With a slight nosebleed, he quickly tells the system to stop, warning that the story might not continue if it goes any further. He sits at the computer, trying to figure out the best way to lure his friend. He wonders if just food is enough to convince her. Suddenly, a notification confirms she has accepted the invitation. He is shocked she fell for it so easily, thinking foodies are simple to trick. As her consciousness connects, the girl in the tank begins to stir, her body surrounded by swirling water and glowing energy. The scene cuts to a glimpse of a towering skyscraper, one of the many structures in the vast digital world. Water drips from her bare foot as she carefully steps out of the containment tube, her body now fully activated. Now a level 10 zombie larva, she is amazed by how realistic everything feels, as if she has been transported into the game itself. Zeng Fangu stands before her, starting to welcome her to the mutant faction, but his words are cut short. Her eyes widen in pure rage as she realizes her new status. She has been turned into a mutant, a zombie larva. She looks down at the small zombie boy in disbelief, her shock quickly transforming into a wave of intense fury. Without a moment's hesitation, she lunges forward, her hand glowing with red energy as she prepares to strike him down. The young zombie easily evades her attack, effortlessly leaping over her outstretched arm with practiced agility. She lands aggressively on the ground while he descends calmly, the two now facing each other in the silent control room. The newly awakened girl is stunned by his incredible speed, her eyes widening in surprise at his swift movements. He lands silently a short distance away, the ground cracking slightly from the force of her missed attack. She ignores his plea to wait and unleashes another powerful slash, her rage making her attack relentlessly. Seeing no other choice, he prepares to defend himself. His nails grow long and sharp, glowing with a faint purple aura. His hand then transforms into a large, monstrous claw, a manifestation of his newly acquired shape-shifting ability. He swings the massive appendage forward, creating a whirlwind of purple energy to intercept her incoming strike. The two powerful attacks collide with a brilliant flash of light as his monstrous claw easily stops her assault. She looks back over her shoulder in disbelief, stunned that the small zombie boy could stop her attack so easily. But we're only going to reveal what he saw in the next part, because our video today has come to an end. But before I can leave your like and subscribe to our channel, so we'll see you there, or just in the next part.